All right,
It's
we're
too hot
live.
to not have it.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi.
What's up, boys?
Hi. We're here.
My monitor just turned off. Nope, it's back. All right,
Nope,
good.
can't see a thing.
There we go.
Probably for the best, really.
Talked about it the last couple of weeks, but I finally saw Tomb Raider.
Oh,
How
okay.
bad was it?
I really don't like that movie at all.
Fair enough.
Just like everything that happens is just like really convenient for the protagonist. Just over and over. The movie is also so long. It's like at least 2 hours long, I think.
Ugh.
Yeah, it just never ends. I really don't like that movie. Here's my review. Don't go see Tomb Raider.
Glowing review, 5 stars.
No, definitely not. That is for sure. What have you guys been up to this week?
Work.
Prepping for PAX.
PAX, yeah. Are you doing Did you got panels going?
Yep, got a panel, got a signing session, so I'm gonna be pretty busy. But it's also 4 days this year, so woo.
Is that an increase or a decrease?
Increase.
Okay. Because PAX Prime it's not called Prime
Prime's
anymore,
been,
right?
PAX West, yeah, it's
Okay.
West.
Yeah.
West has been 4 days for like the past 2-3 years at this point, I think. But
You're
this
right,
is the
yeah.
first year for East being 4 days.
And this is actually the bigger one, right?
Yeah, that's why they stopped calling West Prime.
Yeah.
Because the attendance is now bigger at East.
Right. I was thinking I might try and go to West this year.
I mean, it's been a while for a PAX. Why not, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. But I mean, I'm also going to be doing other trips this year, so that's usually why I end up going. But it's been a while since I've been to PAX. Are you doing Throne controllers?
Yep, that's Friday at 5, and it's going to be live streamed as well.
And is that the only panel you're doing?
Only actual panel, yeah. I have a signing session at the Twitch booth on Thursday around 1:30. That's about it.
Okay.
Cool.
So all the stuff is early for once, so I actually get to enjoy the rest of the con.
Nice.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to?
I'm curious about going to the Twitch party because apparently it's 80s themed this year, and also there's a bunch of arcade games set up.
Are you going to dress up?
I don't have the attire.
Okay.
Nor do I have the time to go find the attire.
All right.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm trying to think of any like games are like coming out that they might show there. I bet God of War's there.
I mean, that's out in like, isn't that out April 20th? Yeah, it's like that's less than a month.
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't. No, they go there. Nintendo's sometimes there, so they might have Labo.
They'll probably have Labo, which might be good to look at, but I doubt I need to try it out.
Which also, didn't you already like pre-order that?
Yeah, I only did that this week, but yeah.
Okay. What did you end up? Which kit did you end up going with?
Both.
Wow, that's a commitment to some Labo. Paul, are you getting Labo?
I would like to, but no plans, really.
Yeah. I'm kind of just curious if it's like fun after you've built the thing, or if that's just it. Like I'm curious what these games are like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably not going to be, but you never know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like even like Lego, like I'll build the thing once and then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
They at least showed like some videos a couple weeks ago that seemed to show more features for both games, so it looked a bit cooler. But yeah, so like there's like versus mode for the robot one and stuff like that, but I believe it's local only because of course it is.
Right.
Sure. Would that mean you need to have like 2 kits? Like 2 backpacks?
Well, yeah, or like a friend would have to have one as well.
And like, hey, come bring over your cardboard monstrosity and we'll and we'll both be robots.
Cardboard monstrosity.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like as a kid, like, man, that would be so annoying to have to like travel with.
Well, my problem is I had to figure out where to even store mine because I have a cat that chews cardboard.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah. Can't you just like get other cardboard if it gets broken? Like,
you can, but then you have to actually like cut it all out yourself when it becomes already perforated.
Well, that's the fun, isn't that the whole point? Just cutting it out yourself and taping it yourself, putting stickers on it.
Yeah, but I guess it takes 2 hours to build the robot suit, so I don't know if I want to do that again.
I mean, I hope for like $80 or whatever it is, you get more than 2 hours of fun out of it.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
true.
so maybe you should almost just break it immediately so that you can like extend its lifespan by at least double. I don't know. I guess we'll find out sooner or later. That's all I can think of that I'm like looking forward to. It's mainly God of War. I'm kind of getting excited for God of
Yep,
War.
me too.
Yeah,
It's about that
which I
time.
wasn't up until for a while, but now it just kind of feels like I just want to play one of those kind of games.
Uh-huh.
Just see Kratos get angry because my boy Kratos is gonna get angry.
Of course.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was talking to Paul. Was it Swords of Ditto? Looks cool.
Yeah.
That's like the
Swords of
same
Ditto?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw it at GDC last week. It's coming to PC and PlayStation 4. It's like a top-down RPG kind of thing, like Bastion kind of, I guess. I don't know. It looks cool. So I'm looking forward to that too. Hopefully that's good. Um, oh, I will say I saw Isle of Dogs. That movie is way better than Tomb Raider. So if you're gonna see a movie, go see that one. And I'm seeing Ready Player One tomorrow, so I can talk about that next week.
Cool.
I don't know what to expect about that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I read that book though. But let's go into the show. 'Cause
Yeah.
we got two of these to do today. I got
Wait.
stuff to do this evening.
What show would that be, Sean?
Yeah, let's do the top-down perspective.
Oh,
For-
yeah, that one.
March 30th.
Okay.
John's here, Paul's here, I'm here.
Yeah.
And let's start with John because he's got a lot. What have you been playing?
One sec. Sorry, just working on something here. I have been playing a bunch of stuff on stream. That's about it, actually. I've had very little time to play offline, except for what we're really doing after the podcast today.
Mm-hmm.
Did some game clearing on Monday, so I ended up playing Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure for the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
This is the original Dragon Ball series. It's basically like the entire story.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, like, yeah, fillers cut out, but more or less it's like running around getting the Dragon Balls, fighting Emperor Pilaf, fighting the Red Ribbon Army, fighting King Piccolo, all that stuff.
That
Cool.
Frankenstein dude?
He actually does not show up, bizarrely enough.
Oh, okay. Well,
Except
whatever.
you go to that area and like they rewrote it so that Goku does everything and not Frankenstein.
I really don't remember much of that part, so I've only seen Dragon Ball like once
Yeah.
through.
I saw like the old run that YTV used to air with
Yeah.
that Goku he's going to show you theme song and all that.
Yep.
I don't remember that at all. I'm gonna look this up.
It's pretty catchy. But apparently there was only like 13 episodes of it. Then they just redid it with the other studio. And then they just did the rest of the series that way. Yeah, so Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure is a beat 'em up, but then it turns into a one-on-one fighter at times, and it's not a very good one-on-one fighter, but it's a really good beat 'em up.
Okay. Cool.
It just has a bad habit of like forcing you into like, here's a group of enemies that stops your progress in the stage. All right, cool, you beat them. Go through another screen. Oh, there's another group of enemies that just stops you from moving altogether. It's just weirdly paced.
It's really cool looking, actually. I really like
It looks really good for a Game Boy Advance game.
It's super vibrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I'd recommend if you're into Dragon Ball, at least trying it.
Is it better than Fighters?
I mean, that's a different kind of game. And Fighters is a way better one-on-one fighter, if that's what the question you're going to ask.
Nope. I just want to know if it's a better game than Fighters.
Probably not. Because this looks like it does more than just the one thing.
Oh, so you're saying this game is better than Fighters?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe.
Like as a game, maybe. Because this looks pretty interesting, at least, if nothing else. Some screenshots I'm looking at here. Yeah, cool. It looks neat, actually.
Yeah, it was fun. Otherwise, I've played, later that night, we ended up playing a bit of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Oh, man. Okay.
Like the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. That game's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of all right. We only started, so we only got into like stage 2, but it's
Okay.
fun.
You didn't get
So no
into
Sith lightning.
into any of the weird set piece stuff where it's like, there's no way this dude could have existed in this universe. The literal god. Oh man, that part's so good. Holy shit.
I didn't play the second one though.
Second one's not as good in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's what I remember hearing. Isn't
Yeah.
there like multiple endings? Like you go the good side or the dark side?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So I already know the ending to this game because I went to a friend's place when it was new and we beat the game there, but like we only beat like the last quarter of the game.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
I've actually never seen like most of the game. I just know how it
Okay,
ends.
cool. That's why I didn't, just in case, that's why I didn't want to say the thing that happens that you're just like, oh, this is so dumb. So, yeah.
Oh no, the super dumb thing you're talking about, I totally know about.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
I
too
remember
bad.
how annoying it was to actually make happen.
Yeah, no, dude. That part was ruined because the controls for it are garbage.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you also have the Dodge TIE fighters during that too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
because of course you do.
Yeah.
You guys will have to like remind me offline
Yeah.
because I don't remember.
Yeah, just in case somebody's listening and their interest is now peaked for that one part.
Right.
Yeah.
I just remember like using Force Lightning a whole bunch.
Yeah. Until they have the troopers that have the Force Lightning shield, so you can't use it anymore. And you're just like, oh, this is stupid.
Yeah, so otherwise, on Wednesday, I played a bunch of WiiWare games because you can no longer buy WiiWare points. So I went crazy on the weekend and picked up a bunch of games.
Is it officially over?
You can still download games, but you can't buy points anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can't use real money, or can you?
No.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, if you don't have points, you can no longer get anything on there.
So, how much money did you put in on this one day?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
Fair enough.
More than I should have is the correct answer.
Probably, yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for one of these things on this list. But let's hear
I
about
know which
all
one.
this
I know
list.
which one it is.
Yeah.
All right, so started off with one of the better games on the WiiWare, Castlevania: The Adventure Rebirth.
Right.
This is a reimagining of one of the original Game Boy Castlevania games, and it's turned into actually, honestly, a pretty good retro Castlevania game.
Yeah.
All right.
Music's pretty solid. It's very Genesis-y. It's remixes of other games. Controls are pretty tight. The only downside is the bosses are faster than sometimes you have the ability to dodge. So if you're not, if you like, you might not be able to react in time to avoid certain attacks because they might just be too fast, period.
Right.
Sure.
Otherwise, solid game. We ended up beating it on stream. From Konami, we also ended up playing Tomenasana, which is like a weird infinite runner where it's all about the timing of where you press the action button. And that's how you get through obstacles and earn extra time to get through the stage. Like you're
Isn't
a
that
businessman.
every Infinite Runner? It's all
Yeah.
about when you hit the button?
Sort of, yeah. But like this one's like, there's a schoolgirl running towards you. If you press it at the correct time and get it great, you start dancing with them. If you do it at the wrong time, they kick you in the face and knock you down on the ground.
I have
And
seen
then
this
later
one
on-
before. This is neat looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good game. It was on mobile for a bit. I don't know if it still is. You do a lot of weird stuff. Like eventually you go to space and you find Santa. Travel back in time, dodge dinosaurs, fight giraffes, fight guys in giraffe suits. Just like a bunch of weird stuff.
Wait,
It's
maybe
a really
this is the
fun.
one that people were always like telling me about, like another Japanese one.
Yeah, I think you've been recommended this one before.
Probably. What was that like Flash game? It looked a little bit like this, but you like started on a bike.
Not Happy Wheels.
Started on a bike.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
I-
I remember, and you would like bounce as far as you can after you crashed or something.
Oh, I kind of know what you're
You know what
talking
I'm
about.
talking about. All I remember, the reason this brought it up is because like kind of cell shaded looking, flat. I remember seeing people in like Japanese school uniforms.
I know what you're talking about, but I cannot think of the name of it.
All right, you continue. I'm gonna do some searching.
All right. We ended up playing some virtual console games that you can't really get easily anymore, like Musha, one of the rarest Sega Genesis games. So that was a fun little shmup.
Cool.
Fighting Street, which is the North American name for Street Fighter 1 for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's awful. Like I
Yeah.
forgot how bad it was. It's
Controls really bad.
awful.
Yep.
We ended up playing Alien Crush, which is a TurboGrafx 16 pinball game. That's basically all like H.R. Giger art style themed. Looks like
Alien
super nasty,
Crush.
gross. You like fight alien bosses like centipedes and stuff like that. A bunch of flying skulls.
All right,
Is
the
it-
game is called
Oh.
Nanica Crash.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if that rings any bells for you
That
guys.
the name does sound familiar, but I can't see it.
I just remember seeing this like at school, people playing this a bunch. Anyway,
Interesting.
So we played Alien Crush, and then it had a WiiWare sequel, Alien Crush Returns.
Okay.
So we played that, and it's a pinball game with motion controls. So take that as you will.
like, wait, do you control like the bumpers with the motion controls?
Like you can like shake the Wiimote to like tilt the board. You have to use the nunchuck for it. So like one of the buttons on the nunchuck does the left flipper. The A button does like your power move for your pinball, and then I think the B is the right flipper.
Okay.
There's boss fights. There's a story mode with some weird ass progression that has nothing to do with actual pinball. It's weird, but like if you like pinball, it's all right.
Man, I just
Apparently,
want
it
to
has
play
like
pinball.
6 tables.
Damn.
What'd you say, Paul?
I just want to play pinball now. I want to play some
Sorry.
Sonic Spinball, some Dragon's
No,
Fury
you don't.
on the Genesis. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
We ended up playing the one that Sean's probably the most excited about, Muscle
Yep.
March.
Yeah,
That
okay.
game's great.
That game, I wish it had a better control scheme, but for what it is, it's good.
That game is its control scheme.
Yeah, but its control scheme sucks.
When you see the hole with the arms raised in the air, you raise your arms in the air. End of
Yeah.
story. That's
yeah,
it.
but it doesn't react in time. Or in
I
my
don't
case, it
remember
double
that.
reacted. I'd raise my arm and then it would go down, then back up.
Oh,
Weird.
Well, I haven't played it for a long time. Don't you have to like shake it to keep running or something?
At the very end, when you're at the end of a stage, you have to shake to catch up to the person you're chasing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who did you play as?
Polar bear.
Polar Bear's a good one. Sure. That's a weird game. I don't know how that thing was made.
That is a weird game. That is made by the guy who made Ninja Gaiden,
Okay.
which was cool. But he also made like Klonoa and Mr. Driller and a bunch of other stuff. So that was really cool.
It's like reverse hole in the wall.
Yeah, it was supposed to be an arcade game, but it just became a WiiWare game instead. But it was
Yeah.
really cool. Eat Fat Fight is a sumo wrestling game where you raise a sumo wrestler and just try to become the best. You literally like feed them food to make them fatter, so they're harder to knock out of the stage.
Okay.
Makes sense.
This is weird.
It was, I mean, it was a sumo wrestling game that didn't tell you how to play it. You had to go read through the manual.
Oh.
So,
I think you're supposed to just learn it. You know, these modern day games.
oh yeah,
You
real
just gotta
modern.
experience it. No hand holding.
We played Major League Eating, the video game.
Okay.
Yeah, that, as you could tell by the name of the game, was pretty awful.
Sounds like a button
It's
masher.
It was just like, yeah, pretty much. Like you had to like do like weird motions to put food in your mouth, so you'd be doing like this the whole time,
Oh.
raising your arm like to make the Wiimote go to your face,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to mash the B button to chew the food in your mouth. But if you chewed too fast, you'd bite your tongue, and that would stop you.
Great.
Yeah, I mean that's true. You gotta look out for that.
Sure.
You also had power-ups you could use, like atomic farts that would gas out your opponent, or like
God.
or like spicy breath. And there was at
Wait, you
one
just like
point,
breathe on someone else?
yeah.
Okay. Jeez.
And at one point, there was something that happened that I can only describe as a Dragon Ball Z beam battle, where you're both belching and trying to outgas the other person, and you have to keep shaking the Wiimote to actually like move the gas beam closer to them to knock them out.
This sounds like these people sound like the least professional like food competition ever. Like
Yeah,
have some
pretty.
class and eat 40 hot dogs and like calm down.
Right.
I also played the classic Cozy Fire, which is literally just like
Hell yeah.
it's just
Like
the
the
winter
Yule log?
fire. Yeah, it's just Yule log.
Yo,
Okay.
is it true that you can change the type of wood you use to burn,
Yes.
though?
There's like 10 different types of wood.
Oh, shit.
I can't even name 10 different types of wood.
And there's like 6 backgrounds. And you can
like
set it
6
on
different
and-
fireplaces?
Yeah, including
Okay.
just outside. You can just do a campfire instead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
As if it was like, look at this window.
Yeah, but it's
Look at my
perfect for Christmas.
Window TV.
Except for its lack of music, so it's really just like crackling
Doesn't have
fire.
the music. It's
It
just
doesn't have
like
any
crackling?
music. It's just crackling fire.
That's crazy.
No,
I was gonna
I'm
say
good
at least
with
they could
that.
put like Mario's theme in there, but I guess they can't.
No, I'm good with that because then you can
Nintendo.
play your own music over top of it.
That's true. Yeah, just you
Which is
you save all
totally
your
what we
music
did.
to the Wii,
Yeah.
and then just access it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm assuming the Wiimote works like a fire poker.
Yep.
Is
Makes
there any
sense.
like cool fire poker skins?
No, it's just a little tiny hook icon instead of your hand.
It's not even like a
Oh.
fire poker coming in from like one side of the screen.
Nope.
Damn, son.
That's too bad. Yeah. Missed opportunity.
The best part when you actually do watch Ulog is when a fire poker comes in.
Yep,
And you're like, oh
totally.
shit, something's happening.
uh,
And then everyone pays attention for like 20 seconds and then they go back to having a good time.
Totally.
what else?
How much was
Shonen-
Cozy Fire? I need to know what you paid for Cozy Fire.
It was probably like $5. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
I somehow I feel like I'm
On
gonna
the
get more
scale
use
of,
out of
like,
that than I
On a
expected.
scale of like pass, rent, and buy, where do you put Cozy Fire?
Well, okay, for a normal human being, it's definitely a pass. But like
Okay.
for me and my profession, it's probably like
Like a rent?
okay.
So the rent.
Yeah, it's a rent. You'd rent it around Christmas, you're
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rent Cozy Fire. I
Rent
love
for
it.
the week. Christmas week. It's in
Yeah.
high demand though, so you got to get there early.
We played Choaniki for the TurboGrafx 16, which is how do I even describe that? Super manly, muscly men fighting really demented, muscly monsters. It's really weird.
It's Muscle March.
Okay.
It's Muscle March is a shmup.
Yeah.
And I ended with Space Invaders Get Even, which is a Space Invaders game where you play as the Space Invaders instead. It's like a tactics game where you fly around with a UFO shooting like the Space Invaders at all these the turrets and everything trying to kill you, and you just try to get revenge for
Cool.
what happened 30 years ago.
Okay. Cool.
I thought it was going to be like a bullet hell thing because that kind of makes a little sense to me.
That would also be cool.
You
I
said
think
tactics, which is interesting.
it was. Well, I say tactics, but it's more like an action. Like you point at the screen and then you fire there, but like you're also moving around, dodging. You have to manage how many like extra invaders
Okay,
you
so
have.
not like a grid.
No.
Because I think grid when I hear tactics.
Yeah, it's not Final Fantasy Tactics or Into the Breach or anything like that.
Imagine that though.
That would be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I picked up a lot more WiiWare stuff, but that's just all that I could cram into one night.
Gotcha.
What was the best one? Besides Muscle March, sorry, what was what was the second best one?
Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth, easily.
Sure.
Okay. Is this list in order of like best to worst that you have?
No, it was more or less in order of played.
Okay. Because I mean, if so, I'm just gonna put Muscle March at the top, just real quick.
No, you don't have to. You really don't have to.
I'll help
Oh,
you
he's
out, don't
actually
worry.
doing
There you
it. All right. Well,
Yes.
there you go.
What a team effort. What a
Hold
team
that for
effort
you.
there. And he bolded it. Ooh.
Holy shit! You know it's important if Sean bolds it because there's no other bold in this fucking document.
That's all I played.
go. All right.
Cool. Sean, what did you play?
Yeah, but I kind of played whatever Paul played, and then he just kept going. I want to talk about Sea of Thieves a bit more.
Yeah.
I only played it a bit last week, and I wanted to experience it a bit better. And I think I'm done playing Sea of Thieves.
Oh, you did
'cause
the
I'm
two
bored.
things. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did exactly. I did the two things. I played for about 2 or 3 more hours since we last podcasted.
All right, so let's count it down. You sailed. You probably fought a bunch of skeletons. You picked up a treasure chest, and you maybe fought the Kraken.
That's
I have
more than
yet
2
to-
things, though.
I
Yeah,
get to
you're
see
right.
the Kraken.
Okay, I did fight the Kraken, and boy, what a letdown.
Oh, really? It sounds
Yeah.
cool. Can you win?
Yeah, it's a shitty whack-a-mole that you get nothing from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the Kraken yet. So there's two things I want to talk about with Sea of Thieves. First one is I am kind of done with it because it's the same thing over and over again, and there's just nothing driving me to continue. I also found out the achievements were turned off. That was weird. Yeah, you can't get achievements in that game. I mean, actually, like today now, I believe they turned them on like last night, so you can start getting some, I believe.
Oh,
and you might even be able to like back progress, get some stuff.
I thought I got
for them.
in-game achievements though.
Maybe you were getting like weird fake PC ones that no one cares about, but I'm talking about like professional.
Well, it's through the
Xbox
Xbox app, so
yeah,
you know.
I don't know. I wasn't getting any
Yeah,
achievements.
you're
And I
right.
was like
You don't
looking
know.
online, and other people were complaining about it.
Mm.
Because I guess they turned them off because of server stuff.
But like, who cares? There's nothing. I guess that's the one thing to do. That's the one sense of progression in that game. So maybe it is a bigger deal.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just like one more thing with this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm pretty much done because there's nothing really else in that game I'm interested in. Also, except for that very first game I played, I didn't see another person, so I couldn't even like have some kind of like strategic battle against some other players or anything like that.
Right.
And then second thing is I wanted to bring up this one kind of like funny anecdote that happened with my buddy when we were playing. We were doing a 2-person ship on the small ship, so we got the fast one.
Yep.
We were going around, we're just getting treasure chests, and we have like 5 or something like that, and we're like, okay, we should head back to a port because we got a whole bunch of treasure chests. We're sailing away, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, cannon comes from the island, hits our boat, knocking us both off into the water. Ship sails away. And we're like,
Okay.
oh crap! Like we got 5 chests in there. There's like, what? It wasn't even a different person. It was just some random skeleton on a cannon on the island. Hit both of us because we were standing next to each other, probably playing our accordions. So we're trying to swim, but there's no way you can catch up to the ship when you're swimming. So we're just slowly seeing the ship, and we're hoping like maybe it'll hit it like a rock, and we'll eventually catch up.
Yeah.
Then I got eaten by a shark. And I was like, well, that's not happening. But then I remembered, hey, I'll spawn back on the ship. This is perfect. So I was actually really happy to be eaten by a shark. He found a mermaid, which teleported him on the ship, which I didn't know that was a thing. So that was kind of cool. So we actually did get our ship back. It was in pretty bad condition, but we got all of our treasure, luckily. Cool. But it was just pretty funny that for a second we were just like, oh my God, all this work we did. Like, it's just gone. And there goes the ship. Like, what do we do? And then like a shark. Yeah. So that was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, apart from that, I'm pretty much done. Where are you at, Paul?
Yo, fuck that thing. Until they add a game, it's a thing that, like, if you have it with some friends, cool. You'll probably have, like, a couple hours of good time, and then you'll never think about it again. It's too bad, too. It's really well polished, and it runs really well. It looks cool. The sailing's good. That's it. There's nothing else. Everything I just said is the only good things I can say about it, because there's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like we're like 2 content updates away from like what I want that game to be.
Possibly.
And maybe I'll check back into it this summer when they do that or whatever. I'm looking forward to that, I guess.
A couple years from now or something. I don't know. Just something. When they add something.
And then apart from that, I've played through about 2/3, 3/4 of A Way Out.
Oh. Okay.
Which I was hoping to finish before the podcast, but we weren't as close as we expected, my buddy and I. This is the new game from the people who did Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So it is forced co-op, which is kind of cool and interesting, mainly just because I haven't seen any other game do that. So it'll split your screen, and you play split screen the entire time, so I can always see what my buddy's doing.
Yeah.
You also only need to buy this game once, and then you can just invite a friend in if they download what is essentially like the demo of the game.
Yeah.
So you get 1 copy of the game, 2 people can play it. Online. We're playing online. So like I said, I can always see what he's doing. He can always see what I'm doing. And for the most part, I like that game. Some of the like co-op challenges are a little gimmicky.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'd say for every one of those, there's another one where I was like, oh, that was actually like a pretty good use of like how to get us to do something together.
Yeah.
For example, so the whole story is about you. Well, there's 2 characters. They're trying to break out of prison and go after this guy.
Yeah.
During the prison break, you need to like climb up like a shaft or whatever, like a big hole in the ground or whatever. And you have to do the thing where you put your backs together and then slowly walk your feet up.
Yeah.
And each of you have to do it not exactly in the same time, but if one person gets too far above the other one, they'll just fall over onto each other. So you need to make sure like, oh, hang on, you're 2 steps ahead. If you go one more, like you need to stop so that I can catch up at least 1 step. And that was actually pretty fun. There's some cool car chase scenes where one person's in the back shooting while the other person's driving through the forest that I liked. What do you think, Paul? I know you're playing that one as well.
No, I'm done it. It's a like 5-hour game. It's not that long.
Right. So what did you think of it?
It's if you've ever seen a buddy cop movie from this like set in the 70s or early 80s, you know every single beat this game is going to hit, and it hits every single one of them. It's super predictable, and it's fine. It's like if you like that sort of thing, it's an interactive one of those, and it's cool because you're doing it with a friend. Yeah, it's totally fine. I will never think of this game again, though, probably. It didn't have the impact that, like, Brothers did at all. But it's
Okay.
It's a fine time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and because the characters are so close together, there's not even really a reason to like play through it again as the other person.
No, yeah.
There's, like I said, there's a few sections where it's like this person will always be the one driving during this chase, and this person will always be shooting.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I'm not gonna play the whole thing again, just so I can do that small driving part because I did the shooting last time. So it's definitely really story focused.
For sure.
And you only need to really play it once.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's priced appropriately. It's $30.
Yep.
And I still think it's like real cool that you get like a free copy for your friend. I
Yeah.
will say though, the person who's using the free version cannot get achievements.
Right.
That's
Just a
not
heads up.
surprising.
Yeah. I'd say there's some funny parts in that game for sure though. A lot of the achievements require you to do just like silly stuff in the environment.
Yeah.
So there's like one where you come across like a farmhouse, and there's an achievement just for like climbing up the weather tower and like spinning the windmill thing just fast.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, all right, I did that. These two guys standing up there, they just broke out of prison and they're wasting their time doing that. There's a really funny moment. Paul, I don't know if you did this in the trailer park. There's a swing.
Yeah.
Did you and your buddy sit down on the swing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that part's real good because it's like a two-person seesaw kind of swing. So you sit down and then you can't move until the other person sits down. So they both sit down, and then one of them's just like, "All right, now what?" And he's like, "I don't know, now what?" And he's like, "Well, you sat down first." And he's like, "No, I didn't. You did." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Okay, let's get up and keep moving." And they're just like, "What are we doing here?"
I was bummed that they don't rock though. I really was hoping there'd be like a moment where they're just having fun.
Swinging. Yeah,
because they're not really having fun that whole game. They're running into some issues.
Yeah, but so I think some of the writing's good. A lot of the voice acting is real bad.
Yeah,
the main characters are okay, but I think every person who's not the two main characters is like just weird, sounds super off or like a robot in some way.
Sure. Yeah.
Very stiff.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't think it looks very good.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't look great, I would say, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the style of it, really.
You're also playing it on the PC, I know, and my buddy was playing on the Xbox One X, and I'm playing it on the S, so I'm playing on the worst-looking version. So that's probably why I'm saying it doesn't look very good.
Like, how do you say it doesn't look very good? Just aesthetically, or are there technical problems you saw?
I guess. Well, aesthetically, it's kind of a style they're going for, but there's tons of texture pop in and tons of like artifacting around like a lot of hair and stuff.
There wasn't any of that issue for me.
Yeah, no, my buddy didn't have any issues with that either. When I mentioned like, does his hair just look like awful at the moment? And he's like, nope. And I was like, all right, I guess that's my old console. So
okay.
If you're on an S, it doesn't look ideal, but I mean, whatever. It's not trying to look amazing.
No, yeah.
For the most part, though, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I'm looking forward to finishing that out.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's, I don't know. If you have a friend that's, like, looking into it, I would say just, like, play it with them. I wouldn't recommend people to buy it, though, myself. It's like a $40 Canadian, $30 US long movie, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
You can play with randos. I think that might be the worst thing to do ever.
That would be real weird.
Yeah, so, okay, I do have some issues with how the game just acts. I knew I was going to play this with a friend of mine, and we were just going to jump into Discord, our, like, own VoIP thing, right? The game has VoIP built into the game audio, because it's forced co-op, so we got an echo using Discord because you cannot turn off mic when you're playing in game. It's just built into the audio, and that's a bummer. Again, I know
come across that we were using just like an Xbox party.
Yeah, no, we're using PC, so so that's a bummer. The party probably does like. I'm wondering if there was like a way we could have done like an origin group or some bullshit if they have that built in or something. But yeah, I know why they do it. I just hate it because I wasn't going to play this with a random person ever. So for me, it just sucked. I guess
a random person would be so weird because you definitely need to coordinate with other people. Like I need to be doing something while you're distracting a guard. Or there's even just times where it's like, hey, we both need to tackle this door at the same time, so let's like count it down.
I mean,
it is pretty generous though when you do need to do that kind of stuff. But there was definitely a few times where we had to try a few different ways to hit the door properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, rando I think would just be like uncomfortable. Because it was already just a little uncomfortable because it's like, oh, we're playing co-op, but it's like such a story game. We're like not really talking to each other that much. So I'm just sitting there playing this game knowing the whole time that like every time I cough, my buddy's hearing me and he's also just kind of playing this game. Like, we're playing together, but we're kind of not playing together in a sense. And then having that with just a rando, like it would just be so like, what am I going to do? Like small talk? Like that part was cool. Hey, I think I found it's over here now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that just sounds so uncomfortable.
Another problem I have is that because like you said, there are so many story-focused scenes where this dude is this is like this dude's part right now. He's talking to his wife or whatever, and you're the other dude. So I guess you're just going to go like hang out with his kid for a bit or whatever. And like vice versa, there's different interactions going on. The doubling of the audio for things going on is fucking infuriating. Where conversations happening between these two, and then you're trying to talk to somebody else about something, and they're bleeding into each other because it's forced split screen all the time, is the fucking worst. Where there's just like people talking the whole time. I hate it. So
in my game when that would happen, it would just like lower the volume a ton on the other person so that I was only hearing like my character's conversation.
We started just being like, okay, when like it's obviously your character's thing, I'm just gonna stand here and wait until you're done, because it just got to be like it was just garbage. It sucked.
So it didn't do like the volume control stuff.
It did, but it wasn't enough because we had to do some volume tinkering so that we wouldn't get audio bleed over. Because the in-game VoIP is garbage, so what happened is I had to crank the audio all the way up in the game so that the main game audio would make it so I couldn't hear him as good in-game, because there is like a balancing in the game that you just can't tinker with, where the mic always seems to be like at one level, and the game volume can go like higher or lower depending. And so what we did is we cranked our volumes up there so we couldn't hear each other in game as well, and then cranked up the Discord volume so that wouldn't be more of an echo. It was this weird balancing act that could have all been fucking avoided if they just put a slider in.
I didn't have any issues.
Right, because you're not playing you're playing with the Xbox party. So it seems like it was probably built around that idea, and PC was an afterthought completely.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's really my big bummer about it, is that it just seemed like maybe a bad port on PC.
Well, do you think you would have had better luck if you just weren't using Discord and you were just using whatever the game's built-in?
No, because it was shitty. It would crackle every now and then, and if they were talking, I just couldn't hear my friend. And that's a problem when you're trying to coordinate a thing. Like, specifically a part that I'm thinking of is you're, like, breaking out of prison or whatever, and one dude has to stand lookout, and I couldn't hear him very well because there was stuff going on. Okay, and like it was a bummer. It just feels like it was a shitty PC port, which is whatever. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But still, I mean, technical garbage aside, again, if you just want like a buddy cop con type movie to play with your friend for a couple hours, it's worth looking into for sure.
I think it's interesting just for the fact like it's of how unique it is. So
Yeah.
like there's that. And I mean I'm enjoying my time. So it's not like you're gonna play this unique game and muscle your way through it because it's not fun. I'm having fun with it. So there's that.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So I mean I would recommend it.
Mhm.
I wouldn't pay more than 30 for. I
No,
think.
oh god, no. In fact, I would
So I
say maybe wait for a sale even, if you can.
Okay.
That's kind of a shame after how well received Brothers was.
Well, this is the thing, is that what Brothers did is that it mechanically did something where the storytelling was so intrinsically designed to how you played the game that it was like mind-blowing, and this is just kind of a movie follow-up with like Heavy Rain prompts, basically.
Well, I mean, I think this is doing something interesting, you know, with its mechanics too, with like the split screen nature and kind of moving back and forth. Like I think there's something there with the story too.
I just don't agree. I think it's interesting, but I don't think it has any. It's gimmicky, I would say. I don't think it makes the game better or worse necessarily.
I mean, like I did say at the beginning, some of the co-op stuff you're doing is definitely gimmicky.
Super gimmicky, yeah.
But again, I think for every like one weird like gimmicky one, there's one I thought was like, oh, this is like a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, no, there's a few. The thing I'm saying is that they hit such a home run with their quote unquote gimmick for Brothers, which is real hard to talk around, but we're gonna keep doing it because it's super important. If people want to play Brothers, you should.
Yeah.
They hit a home run with that, and this just seems like a kind of limp follow-up in that regard. This is more of a movie. That was more of like, this has to be a game sort of thing. Which is fine.
Do you think if this is a different developer, you might look at it more favorably because it's not trying to follow up Brothers?
Probably about the same. It's just a fun time. It's a fun weekend game with a buddy. That's all it is to me. And that's totally fine. There's room in my life for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's all I played.
Cool. I meant to talk about this last week. Synthetic is out. Is a top-down gunning roguelike game, kind of like a Nuclear Throne, but with a more like strategic and tactical look about it. Basically, think Nuclear Throne, but instead of just going balls to the wall with like crazy guns that make really loud bangs every time you pull the trigger and like the screen shakes and it's very cartoony. This is very sleek, very methodical. You have a certain amount of bullets in a magazine, and when you expend them, you have to push a button to throw that magazine away and another button to reload with an active reload while things are trying to murder you. So it's much slower but much more intense, and I kind of like it. It's just another roguelike game. It's a synthetic, it's like Nuclear Throne is probably the best way to put it. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's only 2 bosses, maybe 3, and that's kind of a bummer. It doesn't seem like it's fully fleshed out yet, but what's there so far is pretty good. It seems like it would be a 4-player game, but it's only 2-player. You can do 2-player co-op with, and it's whatever. The big game I want to talk about is Far Cry 5, though, because Far Cry 5 is out, and I've been playing it every single night because I was super into the idea of another Far Cry, because I like those games. That being said, it is a Far Cry game, so people who were thinking, maybe I'll pick this up because it seems like it would have scathing political commentary for the US and like all this sort of thing, it doesn't. It's a crazy dude and a crazy cult. It's the same thing. There's a bunch of bad dudes, and you are the Lord of Death with guns, and you are shooting all of them while you do stuff for people. It's a Far Cry game. There's nothing new or special about how it does any of the story stuff.
I've been seeing all your tweets. I can't tell if you like this game or not.
It's frustrating, dude. So the big problem, I feel like Far Cry has slowly become this thing where they just don't understand pacing anymore. One of the things I really liked about Far Cry 2 is that there were down periods where there was just kind of nothing and you were in a field and then you would get attacked by something, whether it be like an animal that was there with you, or a dude like spreading fire around and the grass is burning all around you and you have no cover anymore. Like, there was down periods. Fucking Far Cry 5, no matter where you go, you have dudes following you and chasing you all the time. There's not a single time you have any downtime, and that's super annoying. Like, it's a bummer. To the point where I'm trying to get to a quest, and I have to take out, like, a full convoy of dudes every time I do. Because there's just a million cultists everywhere. I decide maybe I'll take a plane, so that way I'll avoid all of them. There's enemy planes, they're just shooting me down or chasing me while I'm doing that now. Okay, I guess I have to fast travel to every point I can now, because it's the only way I'm going to make any progress without having to fight a literal army anytime I want to do anything. And it's to the point where it's so much of a problem, they need to, like, patch it out or do something, because it's taking away from how that game plays. It's, yeah. It's not fun to be on all the time, you know? Where there has to be some downtime to make the big parts feel big. There has to be some nothingness every now and then. And then if it's not dudes, a fucking cougar will jump on you or whatever. So, like, there's always something attacking you. You don't get any time to yourself, and it sucks. I really hate that about it. But other than that, it's like a well-polished shooter that you have parachutes and wingsuits and, like, different vehicles at your disposal. It's a Far Cry game through and through. There's nothing new or special about it, really. I just wanted another one of those, and I'm always a little bit annoyed when people get the new Far Cry and say, oh, it's just like the last one. Yeah, that's this one. Again, it's Far Cry. It's set in Montana, in a mountainous area. But it's that game. If you've played any of them since 3, you know exactly how it's going to play, and it does.
You've played a bunch of them, though.
I've played all of them. Are you not
a bit tired with that, though?
Nope.
Were you not hoping for something different?
Nope. I was in the mood for a well-polished shooter, and I got one. So
okay, because I mean, I could definitely feel some fatigue. Like, I think of Assassin's Creed, and those were getting pretty samey.
Yeah.
And this is like the 4th or 5th of kind of the same Far Cry style game out of Far Cry.
I mean, 3, 4, and Primal were all very similar. Yeah.
Maybe Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon was kind of different to E. It was different enough that it felt different.
Okay, so then this is the 4th. That's kind of the same game.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. Far Cry's always just been about, do you want a good shooter in blank location? And then you fill the blank in with whatever location. Or, like, whatever number of Far Cry you want is whatever location you want. Because they're all the same. They haven't been, like, diverse or mechanically interesting since 2.
Do you find you're still playing them as much as before, or is there any kind of diminishing returns?
I beat every single one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I could see some fatigue getting set in there, but I mean that's good that you're not feeling that. You bought the game, so that's good.
Well, I don't like when Primal came out, I bought it right away because it had been a while since I played 4. But like between 4 and Primal, like after I was done 4, I wasn't gonna get another one right away. They just seem to space them out according to my inner clock, I guess. I'm usually totally okay with it. And I can totally understand people not being okay with it and just being like, I'm going to pass on this one. That's fine. What bugs me is when people say, I'm going to get this, and then they complain that it's just the same thing that they were expecting it to be. Because, that's what this is. Again, they're not going to change it, like, pretty much at all. And trust me, when they change the formula, you will know, because it will be a big deal enough that everybody is talking about how they changed the formula. But as it stands, they haven't yet. There's no crazy, like, anti-vaxxer, right-wing garbage, blah, blah, blah. There's no political commentary in this at all. It is a crazy cult is doing crazy cult things, and you have to stop them. So,
see, now that's funny because that's literally what it looked like when they announced the game that was going to be. So what you're telling me is it's not what it appeared to be.
It's crazy dude with a crazy cult doing bad things. Yep.
Yeah, I remember with the marketing, they kind of came out strong with this, like, we have a political agenda here. But kind of as it went on, they were like dialing it back.
Yep.
And it sounds like from a number of people I've heard that just kind of none of that's in this game.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to 8-Bit Warriors for reminding me another thing that's kind of annoying with the pacing. So every now and then, what you're doing is you're trying to get to the big dude, and to do that, you have to take out his lieutenants. His lieutenants have like the different regions that they kind of like look over, and you have to do a bunch of missions in there to be able to like piss them off enough that they come out of hiding essentially, or from like their strongholds to like try to get you, right? However, as you're making storyline progress, you'll just be hunted between them. So like say you do like 2 or 3 quests that are like part of the main story stuff. There will be a thing that comes on your screen when you load back to like wherever you are, including any of your safe haven areas, that says you are being hunted. So what this means is that they sent a bunch of dudes out to hit you with like tranquilizing darts or something that you cannot escape from, and they drag you back to their compound and make you do a dream sequence type thing. And it's super obnoxious when you're just like, I just want to finish this area off. Stop fucking hunting me. Like, it's...
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it, like, repeat?
Oh, yeah, it happens, like, every 2 or 3 missions you do.
But it's the same dream sequence?
Yeah. It's the same dream
weird.
sequence thing. It's... Yeah. I think it's building up to something, because there was, like... I can't remember if it's a dude that talks to you about it at some point, or if there's like a note that says it or something. But they say it says something about how they're trying to like get you in a false sense of security of you like knowing where everything is and predictability. So I think there might be a payoff, and if there isn't, trust me, you'll hear about it, because I'm gonna be super pissed if there's no payoff to it. But like, I'm cautiously optimistic that they're leading me somewhere by making me do the same repetitive thing over and over, and it's gonna throw me off when like the thing happens. So, fingers crossed that they know.
Right.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot more to talk about. I guess a cool thing is that this game you can play with up to 3 friends, so like the 4 of you can do the whole game together, which hasn't been done before. In 4, and I think Primal, there maybe not even Primal now that I think about it, you could do co-op stuff together, like attacking strongholds and doing like some basic stuff, but you couldn't do like missions for like the main mission quests together. In this game you can play like after the intro stuff, you can do the whole thing with your buddies, and that's kind of cool. They have the Far Cry Arcade, which actually I was in a beta for a couple weeks ago, but there was an NDA. But now I can talk about it. It's kind of like this weird, almost like Steam Workshop type Mario Maker thing where people can make different game modes from assets in the Far Cry game, and like you can play them with
Sounds
people
cool.
or solo, or yeah, it's kind of cool. So I was trying a few of those yesterday. There's solo ones which are kind of like almost walking simulators, escape the room type things where you can like set up a thing for people to go through, or you could do that solo and co-op usually. Or there's like deathmatch things where people can just make like a map for you to play deathmatch with a bunch of other people. It's cool though. It's a neat little way to get people invested in the game, and it keeps some replayability that I don't think Far Cry has had maybe ever. So yeah, all of that stuff is neat and adds to the multiplayer stuff. But other than that, I just need to stress it again. Yo, it's a Far Cry game. If it sounds interesting to you, check it out. It's a good one of those, but it's not doing anything new or revolutionary, like, at all. So, just be warned. I like it, and I'm gonna see it through, I think.
I hear you can get a bear companion named Cheeseburger.
You can get a bear companion named Cheeseburger, which is an ironic name because you cannot feed him cheeseburgers because he's diabetic.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's still great though.
Also, you get a dog pretty early, and the dog's great because he lights up any enemies in the
'Cause he's a
surrounding
dog.
area. And when
Also that, yeah.
he gets hurt, you can bring him, like, you can revive him by giving him pets, and then he gets all happy and he's like, okay, we're good, and then he'll attack
good
dudes
dog.
for you. Yeah.
I understand the
name's-
dog cannot ride in the car with you.
You know, I didn't even notice. You might be right. I
I
didn't
saw
notice that.
like a headline that was like, "Hey, Ubisoft, let the dog ride in the car with me."
Yeah, that probably just has something to do with the mechanics of the partner that you're with when they're human and you're in a car are like programmed to attack other vehicles and stuff. So there's no way a dog or the bear or anything could. It's probably just something like that.
Like it needs to be outside of the car so it can attack. Well, it should sit in the car with you and like stick its head out the window, and then when you're
Bark.
coming near someone, it'll jump out and go attack them.
You're right. That would be way better.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because like how terrifying would that be if like your convoy's pulling up and it's like, oh, look at this enemy, he's only got like one guy coming at me, but then the door opens and a bear comes out of that car. You'd be freaked out.
or a cougar. You can also get a cougar.
That's also cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some news.
Yep.
This one actually I don't have it in the list, but I saw it on Twitter and I wanted to mention it. It sounds like Call of Juarez Gunslinger is slowly being delisted off of download services, which is a bummer because that game is great.
That game is so good. Yeah.
Earlier today, it got taken off of Steam. It's also been delisted from Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. You can still, or at least 13 minutes ago-ish, you can still get it on Uplay for under $4. And Amazon has a PS3 digital version for $15. But maybe look into that game sooner than later if you want to be able to play it, because it sounds like it's going away.
Does that game hold up at all, I wonder? Because it was
I
great.
played it a couple months ago. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Yeah.
I don't know if it holds up, but yeah, at the time it was a good game. So
It does one of the tropes in video games I love for storytelling, where it's a dude telling the story. So if something happens, like if you die, it'll just kind of like do this rewind thing where he's like, no, it didn't happen that way or whatever. Like they're messing up telling the story. It's cool.
right,
Yeah.
right. But yeah, so public service announcement for that game. All right, news stories that I put in here. No Man's Sky is coming to Xbox this summer.
Cool. Okay.
So that's kind of cool. There's also a big content update coming alongside it.
What does this one add?
which, is being advertised as it's the largest update so far, and it's going to be a free one.
Yeah.
So if you're still playing No Man's Sky or interested, it sounds like this summer is a good time to get in on that. I don't know what the update gives.
Yo, as it stands, their last update like added the game part. So like that is actually a game. So I'm excited to see what this bigger update is.
Bigger update, yeah. They're just calling it
Holy
No
shit.
Man's Sky Next.
Do you think it's actual multiplayer? Like real multiplayer this time? Holy shit.
I don't know. I think at this point, don't get your hopes up when
Yeah.
it comes to No Man's Sky. We've been through that once.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
But like damn, man.
Anyway,
Damn.
so watch it just be like cross-platform play. They did it before Epic did, before Fortnite could get it done.
That
No
would
Man's Sky
actually
somehow
be
got it.
huge.
That would be huge, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, maybe No Man's Sky is worth getting into again this year. We got PlayStation Plus for next month is Mad Max and Trackmania Turbo, In Space We Brawl, Toy Home, 99 Vidas, and Qbert Rebooted.
Yeah. 99 Vidas is actually based on a podcast of a friend of mine and John's here in Calgary.
Okay, I don't know most of these games.
99 Vidas is like Scott Pilgrim, but for
Okay.
Brazilian video game in-jokes. It's a long story. Mad Max is a good open world game with Arkham combat, which you could take or leave at this point, I think, because most things do that, and it gets a little stale in that game specifically, because there's a lot of fighting in that game. Trackmania Turbo is great, because Trackmania is great, and I don't actually know what In Space We Brawl or Toy Home are at all.
And then Qbert Rebooted is probably Qbert?
Qbert, yeah.
Probably a safe bet on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, the games with gold for next month is The Witness and Assassin's Creed Syndicate, as well as Cars 2 and Dead Space 2. Cars
Okay.
2, all right.
Cars 2,
Wow.
yeah.
Gonna play me some Cars 2. I saw Cars 3 got a game. This probably would have been last year, but that's got to be one of like the only movie games still being made.
Anything Disney related? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The Witness is good. The game was also $5 on phones like last week. So
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah.
Huh. Okay.
PlayStation VR got a permanent price drop of $100 off,
Right.
which brings it down to $300 now. I'm not sure if it's the original model or if it's the one that has like HDR pass through or if it's just like all current models. I wasn't able to find information about that.
It is the
'Cause you
starter bundle, so I guess I could look up that and see which one they give you. It's probably the basic one.
But I'm pretty sure every single one of their bundles was cut by 100, and I'm assuming the
Oh.
Skyrim one would have the new model that has the HDR pass through. You know, because that's probably the one you would want, just because it's the newer one, and if you have a 4K
Yeah.
TV and whatnot, or an HDR compatible TV.
Right.
This also just makes me think there's a new PlayStation VR coming in the future. Because part of me is like, oh, maybe I'll finally get it now. It's dropped down $100, but it's like there's probably going to be a better one like this fall.
Could be. It could also just be their way of competing with the new VR coming out for. Oh my God, who is it? Was it Oculus
Vive?
or Vive?
They
Yeah.
both have new ones, but Vive was the one that announced like a big one, and that's
Yeah.
because Oculus has Oculus Go, but Vive's
Right.
is like $800, so I don't
Right.
think
No,
they need to really
but
compete with that
Vive's
one.
original one is getting cheaper. This might be their response to that, being like, okay,
Okay.
well, we can cut it a
But
little
even the
bit too.
original one, it's got to still be around like $500-600.
Yeah, I think it's like 500 for the original, which is the
Yeah, so
worst version now. So like, if you're gonna get into it, you might as well get the one. Although the other one comes with the like controllers, I think, where this new headset does not come with any of that for Vive.
The PlayStation. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
So it's
so-
even more expensive than its current
Yeah.
$800 price. Yeah.
Jesus.
Um,
Yeah.
And last little bit of news: Pokemon Go got an update that actually made me turn my head.
Yeah.
So I'll bring it up here. It's getting like quests and kind of some like narrative content, which is super interesting to me. The narrative content surrounds Mew. And what you do is whatever the professor is that starts off in the game, Willow, he gives you quests to perform. I played maybe 10 minutes of this. It's like, hey, can you catch like 5 Pokemon for me? Like spin 10 Pokestops
Right.
and transfer like 5. And when you do that, you'll get like another series of quests. And it looks like you need to do like 10 sets. And then you'll probably have access to like an attempt at catching Mew. And along with this, every time you do spin a Pokestop now, you can get like a little mini quest, like they call a field quest, and then that'll get you like bonus items and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So it's actually kind of interesting. I'm probably gonna play it a bit to see this chance at Mew. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's kind of exciting. Also because all legendary Pokemon have been raids up to this point, which I don't care to do. So I never really had access to doing going for a legendary Pokemon, and this one's far more exciting in my book.
Sure.
So there's that, and that's kind of cool. So maybe now's a good time to get back into Pokemon Go if you have any interest in that.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's all the news I collected.
Cool. Let's move on to questions then. Questions.
I guess I'll read this. Oh, if people want to send questions in,
right.
it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box.
Which I have stuff for.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
Start opening that. I'll read this first one.
Yeah, I saw this one in the Discord.
Pretty
Made me laugh.
appropriately. VGC Kenny writes, in honor of Sean putting up a Monsters University poster in his living room, what is the worst movie you like? Shots fired.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I don't think that movie's bad. I think that movie's pretty good.
I never saw it.
It's a good time.
I hear mixed things about it.
Worst movie that you like?
Oh, dude, I like almost every video game movie. Like, I don't care. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay. You should go see Tomb Raider.
2 hours is a bit much, though. A lot of video game movies are, like, kind enough to just subject you to whatever they're doing for, like, 70 to 90 minutes. So,
Did you see Assassin's Creed?
no, because I heard it was boring, which is, like, the worst sin a movie could do.
Tomb Raider was kind of boring too, but that
Yeah.
might have just been because it just kept going.
Hmm. Oh yeah, maybe.
There was definitely parts where I was like, "Is this movie ending soon? Oh my god!"
It's the
I'm trying to
worst
see the
sin
actual
a movie
runtimes.
can commit is be boring. At least if you're like terrible or corny or whatever, I can get into it. And I think most video game movies are corny in like a cringy way, and I kind of want to see the like train wreck that they become. And boy, do some of them become train wrecks. So the worst movie I like maybe Mortal Kombat Annihilation, because that movie is fucking terrible.
That movie is awful.
It's so bad, but every time I watch it, I'm smiling a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay. The runtime is actually 1 hour 58 minutes, so 2 hours. Yeah, of
Yeah.
Tomb Raider. Worst movie I like. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I used to like Van Helsing,
Oh man, yeah,
Oh wow.
and I know that movie's bad.
yeah.
Um, Another one that I don't know how it holds up or if it was ever good. I think this one seemed as better though. The first Underworld.
Yeah, I don't like Underworld either.
I liked that first one at least.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that might be the only movie I have on like UMD for my PSP.
Oh, man.
I don't know how I got
Wow.
that. But I definitely watched part of it with my PSP, which is weird.
I really like the Resident Evil movies, but I wouldn't call any of them the worst movie. They're still totally watchable.
Sure.
Like
What about you, John?
90s schlocky stuff.
That's the problem. I'm trying to think. Like I remember watching and enjoying some bad movies in the 90s, like Wild Wild West.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh
that's
my god. Yeah.
that's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I like Street Fighter the movie, the original movie. It's cheesy as hell, but it's a good watch.
Yeah, I agree.
What about Legend of Chun-Li?
Nope.
That movie's boring. That does the sin.
Okay. Haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, I saw it on a plane and I was still bored. I literally nothing else to do, and I still didn't want to watch it. I had another answer, but I can't parse it anymore.
All right.
Oh,
John, do you want to do your
Matrix
letters?
Reloaded.
All right.
What was
So
it?
here's
Paul?
Matrix Reloaded.
That movie sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Both those two movies are like the 2 and 3 are real bad.
Yeah, I still like 2 though.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. We were sent 3 letters from the same person.
Okay.
Each one is addressed to a specific person, but only
Oh.
mine says read this one.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Maybe it'll make sense.
Yeah.
Dear Top 10 Perspective, I've been enjoying your podcast for a couple years now, and I love every minute of it. It has gotten me through some tough times. In mid-late 2016, I started naming your podcast episodes, and it has been a blast. I know you guys have been enjoying it as well, which is why I decided to send you each a copy of the first year of names through John's P.O. box.
Oh shit.
Cool.
They are printed front and back, just so you know. I hope you can figure out a way for Sean and Paul to get their copies, John. Anyways, while I have you here, I have 2 questions. 1, how much have you been enjoying the episode names? Very much.
Yeah.
Very much. Thank you.
And 2, if you wouldn't mind, John, could you do a run through of the best names you have there? Thanks for all the good times, James.
Oh, like your favorite ones? Is that what he's asking?
Yeah, give me a second here. I'm going to look through.
I'm assuming Paul and our letters is just the list of names.
Yeah.
Whereas
yeah.
yours had the
Looks-
explanation.
Looks to be the case.
I'll give you vocal information or allowance to open mine if you wish to, and just let me know if there's anything.
I already opened them all. 'Cause
Okay.
Ironically, mine was the last one I found.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough.
So that's how I know that.
Yeah.
That's
They
an
all
interesting
have the
thing.
same
If
thing.
someone mails something to your house under someone else's name, are you allowed to open it?
No.
Well,
Because
here's
that-
the thing. They're all labeled with my name on it.
Oh.
All
It just has
three
like a
letters-
sub
then
name?
yes.
All 3 letters had Proton John on it. It just inside was a sheet saying for Sean,
Oh,
for Paul,
okay.
for John.
Oh, yeah, then that's
Okay.
totally fine. Yeah, that's different.
So then wait, if I mail something to someone's house, like they own the house,
Yeah.
but I don't put their name on it, they're not allowed to open it?
Technically, no, because
What are they
technically,
allowed
no.
to do with it?
It's
Like, can I just keep sending the mail and then
It won't-
haha,
it
your
won't
whole
go
bedroom's
through.
full of letters now.
the post office would just put it in a bin to never be seen again because they don't deliver
Yeah, you
stuff.
just
that way.
write on the letter return to sender, put it back in the slot.
Okay. All right, that's true. Yeah.
There's like so many of these, I don't even know.
Okay, well,
Which
while,
one?
while you're looking, Paul, why don't you read the next question? Then you
All
can
right.
pick out some choice ones, John.
Mr. Calman or Calman or whatever wrote in and okay, this is actually 2 questions. Okay. Sorry. I just noticed that this other one is a different
No, it's just
person.
one.
No, I know. I thought this whole block I just noticed that
yeah.
this is a different person. Okay.
Yep.
What is your favorite movie trilogy that was one and done and never followed up? Note, this excludes both Star Wars trilogies, any MCU movies, and movie franchises that extend past 3, like Harry Potter or Fast and Furious. I'll allow Lord of the Rings and Hobbits because they're more of their own thing. So, okay, movie trilogies that are one and done.
I was just thinking recently, like, what are some of the best trilogies where like they don't get worse as they go on, which happens so often, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Okay.
Toy Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Toy
Story's
Story's
so
good. Yeah. Gotta think of movie trilogies.
Toy Story arguably gets better as it goes.
I really like 1 a lot. 2 I could take or leave, but I love 3 as well.
But I mean, I like 2 a lot too, and I really like 3.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, that's a good one.
Definitely in there. Yep. I was thinking, I don't know if this one counts. I think it does, but the remakes or like the reboots of the Planet of the Apes movies. Those 3.
Are there only 3 of those?
The remakes, there's only 3. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that counts then.
I assumed so. So I really like those 3.
Yo, even though he said it, I really do like Lord of the Rings a lot.
Okay.
I really like that trilogy.
I am never in a mood to watch any of those movies.
That's totally fair and understandable.
Okay, this one shouldn't count, but it's called the Cornetto Trilogy. So the Cornetto Trilogy.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna say the Die Hard trilogy because 4 and 5 don't exist.
Okay.
It's a technicality, but I'm gonna let you get away with it because I don't want to admit that they exist. Oh my god.
I would have said RoboCop, but RoboCop 3 is kind of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say RoboCop. I haven't seen 3. I don't think I've seen 2 either.
Oh right.
You don't need to.
I do like the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, okay.
Be-
I don't really like 3 that much, and I'm just kind of like okay with 1.
I like them all as like one big like arcing thing that happens.
Sure.
I had to look up some trilogies here because I apparently forgot a lot of trilogies exist here. The problem is
Indiana
that
Jones.
Because there's only 3 of those, right?
There's only
yeah,
3
so
of those,
exactly.
yeah. That makes
Exactly.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I said all the ones that I had in
Even
my.
even though I googled trilogies, there's a lot of these that are actually just like anthologies, like or like
Right,
bigger.
Which is basically kind of what the Cornetto trilogy is.
Mhm.
Like that one's just so not fair because what's difficult for like a second and a third movie is they have to kind of like pick up where the other one left off and try and like make it exciting again. So that's why a lot of the times the first movie's the best one. But so the Cornetto trilogy doesn't have to do that because they're all separate.
Oh right, the Man with No Name trilogy is one of my favorites for sure.
Oh, that's another good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Is.
That's
Clint Eastwood.
Basically the spaghetti westerns, the A Few Dollars More, Good, Bad, and Ugly, and Fistful of Dollars. Although Fistful of Dollars I think was the first one, so I messed up that order. Evil Dead trilogy is great. That's a great one. I never did see all of the Bourne movies, but I probably wouldn't have.
There's more than 3 though, right? So you can't.
For Matt Damon's? Oh right, Matt
isn't
Damon
there
came
5?
back. No, because they've released another Bourne movie with a different actor, but then
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, but
then they did another one with Matt Damon.
Yeah,
so
so you're
5?
right. Yeah, that's no longer a trilogy at all. That's hilarious. Not even on a technicality.
What about the Triple X trilogy? No.
Was there a third?
Yeah,
it
came out like 2
last
years
year.
ago.
It's called The Return of Xander Cage, and
What?
Vin Diesel comes back.
What?
You didn't hear about this? You didn't hear about this?
Triple X is one of my favorite bad movies. You know what? My answer to that question before? Triple X. Fucking
Wow.
worst movie you like. I love Triple X. Holy hell. 2 was such a disappointment.
Because it didn't have Vin Diesel, or it just was not a good movie?
It just wasn't a good movie. Again, kind of lame, boring.
I mean, I'm kind of always a little disappointed if the movie I'm watching doesn't have Vin Diesel in it.
True.
In the chat, people asking Blade trilogy. I haven't seen any of them.
3's not good though for that one.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, we said a bunch.
Yeah, we said a lot.
John, have you picked out any favorites?
Yep. This August 16th, or no, August 26th, 2016. This is not the first time we've looked up Where's Waldo lore.
Right, yeah.
Sure. Yep. Okay.
September 17th, 2016. Kit Kat Bar, the pop figure.
I don't remember that at all.
Is that from when you went to Japan?
All the contexts are here too. Sean befuddled about the amount of pop figures there are that he would not be surprised if there was one based on a Kit Kat bar.
Okay,
yeah.
December 20th, 2016, we have to agree a hot dog is not a sandwich.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
All right, I'm going to do this next question here. From Shadow War. With the new update that came out yesterday, or a few days ago, I guess, for Bloodstained, revealing tons of information for the game, including a beta demo for backers that will be coming out in June, what do you hope to see/expect from this demo, if you plan on trying it out, or from watching another person play it? Are either of you backers?
I am not. John is, I think.
I am. I'm a double backer, apparently.
What does that mean?
That means I actually backed the thing, and then I was part of a promo for it, so somehow I have 2 backer everythings.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I thought you were going to say, and then I forgot, and I backed it again. Did you see this update? Do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, a lot of the info we already kind of knew about, I felt. But, like, they had said they were going to be a beta demo. They didn't say a date, so that's good to know that it's coming out soonish. They released the VA cast, which we knew about, but they switched around a couple things and revealed more people. Like, we knew David Hayter was involved. We knew the original voice for Alucard was involved. But they actually have a pretty solid voice acting list.
Cool.
Trying to think of what else. They redesigned a couple of things, like a couple areas that were in the demo that we first got looks different. Like the main boss you fought in the demo looks way better. I don't know. I'm excited, but I've always been excited for this game, so it's like not a hard question for me.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking forward to like its actual release, so I'll play it then.
Yeah. I'm gonna just get from John.
They also
if it's
said
soon
they're gonna have the release date. They're gonna announce the release date soon.
Cool. Good.
Question 2. After seeing who the English voice actors would be for Bloodstained, I now can't stop thinking of how Miriam, the main girl you play as in the game, would look like if she were to dress up as Futaba Sakura from Persona 5 and vice versa. Do you have the same thing happen to you when, upon knowing of 2 or more characters who are voiced by the same person, you imagine how they would look as the other?
I have that a lot with Nolan North and Deadpool.
Okay, sure.
Okay, all right. I don't have that.
I don't at all.
I rarely recognize it.
Yeah, no, I don't at all.
Okay. Paul, why don't you take this next one?
Bakesler wrote in and said, if you were to have any song from any game play at your wedding, what would your joke answer be and your serious answer be? So joke answers first.
Joke answer first. All right.
I saw somebody in the Discord say the DK rap. That would be probably pretty
It's pretty
good.
funny.
Yeah.
What about the cake song from Portal?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know if you guys remember it. The Donuts song from Splosion Man.
That's a good
Yep,
one.
that's a good one.
Mine's on record in a video. My joke one being the Price is Right cliffhanger theme, the yodeling music.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's pretty good.
So when you guys are thinking of this, are you picturing like at the reception, like people are dancing to this, or are you thinking like she's walking down the aisle?
Walking down the
Walking
aisle.
down the
Yeah.
aisle.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Do you guys have a serious answer?
No, there's no
No.
way in hell I would do that.
No.
I'm getting married later this year, and I do not have a serious answer.
I'm trying to think if there's like any game music that you could actually get in there.
Oh, sure.
That's not
of
just
course.
it's not just like, hey, we're both huge Halo fans, and you remember when you saw that YouTube video of that girl walking down the aisles with the Halo theme?
No, there's games that like use classical sounding music and stuff like that. You could fudge it some way.
Right.
I'm sure Kingdom Hearts has something lovey-dovey or some garbage you could use. The idea of it's kind of cringy to me, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like it at all.
John, you want this second last one?
All right. From Ricky, is streaming something you do full time or part time? / do you have a second job?
I think that's for you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's full time, but it's technically not my main aspect of my job.
Right.
Wait, what's the main aspect?
Technically, my main job is throwing controllers and TRG.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah. So like, making the videos like not live ones is the main one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's clearly your question. And just Andrew writes, lately I've been playing Seventh Dragon, an RPG series that is really enjoyable, but was only ever released in Japan. Are there any games or series that you guys were looking forward to that were never released over here? Any that you played despite region exclusivity?
Monster Hunter Double Cross on the fucking Switch. Ugh. So mad.
There's a copy of that at Video Game Trader if you want to pick it up, but it's Japanese.
I mean, I have it from
okay.
from the eShop, but I'm so annoyed that I can't read what I'm picking up. I can't read it. One day.
I have all those Japanese Sega Saturn games, but they are I mostly just picked them up because they were 5 cents.
Sure.
And so like, why not? But games when I was over there that I picked up because I really did want was like the Owen Dawn series.
Okay.
I pick up a lot of repros for games we didn't get over here all the time. So, like Terranigma is a good suggestion. Bahamut Lagoon. I'm Star Fox 2, although that's technically out now.
Yeah.
Pepsi Man for PS1.
Oh,
There's a
Pepsi
bunch
Man.
of stuff.
What was the one I got you from Japan?
The Sega Sanshiro game.
Right, I always forget the name of that. All right, that does it for questions this week. If you guys want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your guys' games of the week?
Ooh. Far Cry 5.
Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth.
I'm going to go with A Way Out.
Cool.
All right, a few things coming up. First off, right after this show, we're going to go live for some of our Patreon backers with our Into the Breach episode. So if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, the Into the Breach TDP Plus episode should be right around the corner or already out. So look forward to that if you're a Patreon backer. What else? Paul's not going to be on the next 2 shows, or I should say he's not going to be here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
John's not going to be here for 1 week, so no episode next week because I'm not doing one by myself.
And if I get sick from PAX, then I'm also going to miss the second week.
Just like expecting it at this point.
I mean, I'm overdue, which is what scares me.
So basically, what we're saying is we're opening a new patron tier to be another host.
To be fair,
Paul,
I'm gone enough that we could do that.
Paul, you're going to be in Japan, right?
I will be in Japan.
That's exciting.
As long
Very
as I wasn't scammed on the tickets for some reason, because I'm pessimistic and I think until I'm on a plane, it's not going to happen. or my plane crashes. Then I'll be dead, and I'll never be back.
Announced today, Contradiction won the TDP Plus poll for April. It finally won one, so we'll be playing that at the end of next month.
Yep.
And that'll do it. If you guys want into any of this TDP Plus stuff, any tier of our Patreon gets you access to that. So look for that there. And that'll do it. Thanks everyone for tuning into this show. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.